Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. And we are just over 24 hours away from the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. It is the best weekend to be a wrestling fan, and honestly, I am absolutely pumped. On Wednesday, Clark, Kobe, and Soul gave their predictions for night one of WrestleMania. Well, today, me and the rest of the crew are going to be giving our predictions for night two. Let's kick things off with a Tuesday night delight on a Friday. How are you, Shad?
Mania weekend. We got ourselves a great day of content going on, and I'm excited about these predictions, man. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. We got a comment here from Caven Davo 2006 who says, ready for the most diabolical predictions ever. And Roman Werner says same. Well, thank you for watching at least. We do appreciate the view. Fernando says, happy Good Mania Friday, Wrestling Republic crew. Happy Good Mania Friday to you as well, Fernando. And we have Ewan in the comments as well. Shout out to you. And numero one Superfly as well. But we also have the biggest John Cena fan in the entire WWE universe. How are you today, Jordy in the Bank?
I'm good because we are, like everybody says, it's Mania weekend, which means we are a step closer to Cena winning number 17. We've got a couple of shows to get through first, like SmackDown, Night 1, Stand and Deliver. You know, there's a lot to get through before we get to that final point, but that's what I'm excited for. And I'm excited for some predictions. And yeah, listen, I don't have the best run of predictions, but I'll try and change that for the people in the comments. All right, I'll try and change that.
Yo, that hoodie is fire, by the way. The Peter Pan joint. I just peeped it right now.
Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. You can get it on Disney Store UK, I think. No, actually, it's sold out, so unlucky.
Oh,
Unlucky.
We're too late. But no, it is a cool hoodie, and it's going to be a very cool show today. Plus, you mentioned SmackDown. We're actually going to be doing a watch along for SmackDown as well tonight. An insane amount of content coming out over the next 24 hours or so.
Can I say something real quick?
Go for it.
Clark, Anthony, Carter. I'm jealous. They all got to meet Willow Nightingale yesterday in Las Vegas. I'm jealous. That's all I have to say.
I'm jealous of the whole thing. I'm seeing these photos and all this coming through. I mean, last night they were clearly having a lot of fun. I asked them for a group selfie, and Carter messaged me a selfie of just him with like Clark briefly in the background on his phone and Kobe miles away. I mean, that's half of the crew. And nobody was looking. It was the craziest thing ever. They were clearly having a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's get into predicting some stuff, shall we? Let's kick things off with a single match, which I am the most excited for, WrestleMania weekend. The match, which is now officially opening night 2. That is now confirmed and official by WWE. Io Sky defending the World Women's Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Shad, I'm going to send this one to you first. What is your call?
Man, first and foremost, let me say the amount of star power in this match is out of this world. You talk about the champion, pound for pound, one of the best wrestlers on the WWE roster, Io Sky, going against the EST, one of the most historical champions in WWE history. And then Rhea Ripley, she's got the juice. She's one of the most over stars on the roster, one of the most popular wrestlers to this day. It's crazy. And the triple threat buildup has been very good to me. You know, it has its hiccups, but still, it makes a lot of sense with all the directions of these three women. Winner. This was tough because I think you can make a strong case for every one of these women in the match. Rhea is kind of the face of the women's division in the WWE. She lost her belt in a funky way. It would make sense for her to kind of get that title back. Io Sky has been champ for a short amount of time, but I gotta go with the woman who just doesn't lose at WrestleMania. And you can't spell WrestleMania without the EST. I am picking Bianca Belair. To me, it's one of those cases where it feels like it's a bit of an Undertaker-esque streak. She hasn't lost. She shows up when the lights are bright at Mania. And I'll keep it rolling, man. Allow this to continue to be a thing. Bianca, this new iteration of her, this kind of a tweener sense where she shows a little bit of a heel side to it, kind of feels like a bit of a breath of fresh air for her. And she's a person that is a dominant champion when given the opportunity as champ. So yeah, man, I gotta go with the EST. I'm picking Bianca Belair for the win.
Great choice, and it is always hard to predict against Bianca Belair. No doubt about that. You mentioned the streak. Personally, I predict the streak is going to be broken because I think this loss is going to be the catalyst for a heel turn for her. I believe she's going to end up joining Naomi, and this is what's going to push her over the edge. I'm going for Io Sky, but Jordy, what about you?
I would love to. I would love to go for Rhea Ripley because you guys know I'm a Rhea guy, but I just don't see her getting the belt back right now. I don't know what it is. For me, I completely agree, Shad. I think that the streak is there, and it is a tough one. But I tell you what, I am going to go Io Sky. I think Io retains, and I think it's going to lead to a match between Bianca and Rhea at next Mania in a one-on-one, and I think Bianca will still kind of hold on to the fact that she's never lost a one-on-one match at Mania, kind of thing. Um, but I agree. I think this thing, whether it's join Naomi, the only thing that sways me to you, Shad, and think Bianca could win is then the winner of Naomi and Jade could go on and take on Bianca, who would be then the champion, which leads to a great feud. But I think I'm gonna go with Io. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Great choice, no doubt about it, though. So me and you agree. Shard disagrees. He's going for Bianca Belair on this one. So hey, out of the gate, at least unlike some other prediction shows, we haven't all agreed, right? Because there have been some prediction shows over the past 6 months where basically we get to like the main event and we've all agreed. Night 2 of WrestleMania is certainly going to be an unpredictable show. But up next, let's talk about AJ Styles, the Actually, before we do that, I want to read out some comments. I forgot to do that almost. Numero 1 says Rhea Ripley will retain. Will regain. Calf KSK says the champ Io retains. DCX Warlord says Bianca Belair. Fernando says Bianca Belair. And Sean Ellis says Bianca Belair is going to turn heel with this, and the Street Profits are going to help her win. That is a great shout, no doubt about it. And Sean Ellis saying, happy Aloha Friday. WrestleMania weekend begins tonight. Absolutely. And we've got Ewan in the comments as well, giving some love to Shard's hat.
Super Bowl champs, baby. Go Birds. Yeah.
Go
Salute
Birds.
to you, Spiky Nine. I think that's how you say his name, Spiky Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his name's Ewan, but yeah. Up next, we have AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, versus Logan Paul. Now, it pains me to say this. It really does. In fact, it almost makes me sick when I'm about to say it, but I'm going to say it because I think it's what's going to happen. I'm going with Logan Paul because I do think AJ Styles is leaving post-Mania or soon thereafter. I do think we're going to see him be all elite in the near future, maybe all in. It's going to make me sick to my stomach to see Logan Paul win, though. If that happens, I will physically feel sick. Shard, I want to get your thoughts.
Let me say this: whether AJ Styles leaves or whether AJ Styles wins, if the WWE goes out there and allows a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of our time, someone who bell for bell can do this with the best of anybody that's in any generation. That's the Bret Harts, the Shawn Michaels. Um, that would be a disservice to professional wrestling. That would be something that would completely leave me gutted. And I'm not even like exaggerating. Logan Paul is a celebrity. He's not a WWE superstar. I'm tired of it. I don't care if he can do a couple spots. I don't care if he jacked all of Hangman Adam Page's movesets. He's not a wrestling superstar. He's not here all the time. He can't cut promos. He is being graded on the lowest bar ever because people think he's good for a celebrity. With that being said, the WWE is going to do what I don't want. They're going to have Logan Paul win out there on Sunday. I got Logan Paul beating AJ Styles off of the fact that I do think AJ Styles will be phenomenally booked in All Elite Wrestling. I do think he is kind of finding his way maybe out of WWE. But even if it's not the case, there isn't a reason for me to think AJ is going to win because they haven't booked him in a way where he's been that guy that we all love for generations of like for decades upon decades, right? Since 2004 when I see him wrestle in TNA to the New Japan to even the early WWE. He's so far removed from that now. He's more booked like a vet that's going to put people over. And it's Vegas. All the lights are out there. They care about these social media posts and likes and all of that crap. They're going to let Logan Paul win out there. And that's going to have me gutted. But I just have to put it out there because I don't want to give you all a reason why I think Logan Paul is going to win. I think he's going to win just because it's the WWE wanting to do that. But in no way he should ever win. But he'll probably win. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I do think you're right. And so does Sean Ellis as well. He says he sees it. Fernando says AJ Styles in AEW would be excellent. But Fernando says he will straight up vomit if Logan Paul wins. I agree, Fernando, but I do think it's what's going to happen.
Get your barf bag ready, Fernando. And also, salute to Sean Ellis. Your comments have been a lot. We've been agreeing more lately. So I got to give my respect to my
Slightly
man,
more
Sean.
positive to All Elite Wrestling, to the boys over in Jacksonville. Respect on that one. Numero one says
Oh, no,
AJ
there it
Styles
is.
wins.
Oh, no, the last comment.
There
not
it is.
bad.
There it is.
Oh no!
There it is.
We nearly got there. Oh gosh. AJ
too
Styles in
soon.
AEW, he'll be screwed like everybody else. We went 14 minutes or 13 minutes into this
I
broadcast.
love it.
Oh gosh. But numero one says AJ Styles wins, but he reckons Mr. Beast will be in the prime bottle. I would love to see that, no doubt about it. Jordy, who's your pick for this one?
I'm picking AJ Styles. I'm going to throw it out into the universe and make sure it happens. And I'm going to manifest that. I don't want Logan to win. I think he is. I just don't think WWE will look to extend his contract when it's up anymore. I think they've got what they needed out of him. I think it's done.
Fair enough. The thing is, I got the impression that they were going to be doing a retirement storyline with AJ Styles, right? I think that's what, like, they started teasing it with Melo. He got injured. He then rushed back so quickly. I just think, like, he know this is his final Mania. And this is why it breaks my heart against Logan Paul as well. It just kills me, but I really,
I'd rather
do.
I'd rather it be Cross. I genuinely would rather it Cross would have got that shot and them
Same.
two been in a program because
No, it makes sense for look, whether you want to say it or not, if there's a legitimate win for somebody, it's versus an AJ Styles. That's gonna give him
Yeah.
his repertoire. Be like, see, I beat one of the best wrestlers of all time at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? So tell your brother to box a real boxer, though. How about that?
Mikey is
Oh,
right.
I know, it's dreadful. It's worse every
Pulverizer is
opponent.
good. The Pulverizer is a good finisher.
Yeah, Styles, though, is Ewan's call. Sean Ellis is now changing his prediction. He's saying AJ Styles is done with pro wrestling. I really hope not. I'm not ready to see that yet, but I don't think he's far off. I think if he does leave, he's got 18 months. I really do. Up next, let's talk about somebody else who I do think deserves a little bit better, and that is Drew McIntyre. Listen, I like Damian Priest. Both of them deserve a WrestleMania match. They both deserve a place on this card. But Drew McIntyre should, in my opinion, be in the main event of night one. He should be with Seth Rollins and Reigns. Seth Rollins and Reigns, Seth Punk and Reigns. That, is the story which they were telling, and then suddenly they just left Drew out of it. And now Drew McIntyre is saying the same thing. With that said, for that reason, I think McIntyre needs the win here because I think he's been done a little dirty. What are your thoughts, Jordy?
He's done some stuff with Project Rock, so can't complain too much, right? No, I'm joking. I'm completely with you. I think he could be in that main event of night one. I think the stories completely would align to it. I don't see a world where Drew doesn't win this. And if he doesn't, I'm worried because Drew's main event, like he is up there with the best of the best. Like when he's on fire, like I just don't know. It does feel like one of them situations where it is a champagne problem where there's so many top of the card superstars at WWE right now that people like Drew McIntyre and even Priest are in a program that does feel a little bit bodged, but I guess you know what, they've told the story and it has been going since last Mania, so now we're here. I'm not overly mad about it. I hope they both absolutely bring the house down, but I think Drew wins it.
So what you're saying, Jordy, is that Drew McIntyre is going to AEW as well after this booking.
Yeah, Drew Galloway's all elite.
Everybody on this card's in AEW next Wednesday. But no, I do completely agree with you. What about you, Shad?
I think Drew wins. I think this is an opportunity to get him a WrestleMania W. I'm cool with the matchup. I think both of these guys were positioned in like the World Heavyweight Championship title before. I know a lot of people feel like Drew, rightfully so, maybe deserves a marquee match just for what he's done the last calendar year. But I mean, I think it'll be a show stealer. I think it has potential to be one of the matches of the weekend. So but I got Drew winning it for sure.
Cav KSK agrees, saying Drew has to win this. And this will move him into a world title feud. Fernando says the same thing. Sean Ellis says, I hope this is the end of this obvious, boring rivalry that has been continuing for far too long and should have been done a long time ago. I mean, to be fair, they've only just revisited it, haven't they?
I love the energy, Sean Ellis.
John, we told him he was being positive 5 minutes ago, and he's like, right, let me change.
Yeah, the table.
So the thing is this, they didn't do a good job, in my personal opinion, revisiting this long history that he's mentioning, right? And I think that's a lot of the frustration with the build. I do think the build of this feud has been okay. But like I said, I think the bar is not the highest bar is what we'll talk at the end of the show. Because that's the highest bar of the whole build. But everything else has kind of been whatever, either bad or whatever. So
yeah. A lot of people have been messaging me really, really negative about the build for this Mania. And I don't want to say I don't agree because I agree with you. It's been mid, but the card is still so stacked.
Oh, so stacked
that I'm still really hyped for it personally. But a lot of people aren't hyped, which is
Look, I said it. Triple H has booked like Tony Khan for this WrestleMania.
Yes,
it's a lot of short, quick builds to put matches on the card, but you're gonna forget about it because the people that are on this card are all talented, minus Logan Paul.
The Rock's not helped.
Ooh.
The Rock just dropping in, doing the thing at Elimination Chamber and then disappearing again with no sign of why or what. That for me, I think that has actually ended up harming it because it's it's set off at this such a high level. The only way was kind of down, really, and it just they could have done a better job of letting us down lightly, but it just kind of went bang. Cena wasn't there for 2 weeks.
There is no slouches on day 2, though. I think everybody can work on this entire card. So that is the
bangers.
Yeah. Banger after banger after banger, and Sheamus isn't even on the card. DCX Warlord says Progress Wrestling has a new Proteus world champion in Paul Walter Hauser. They absolutely do. And Chris Jericho liked our post we did on it earlier on as well. Quite a few wrestlers today have been interacting with us on Instagram. Thank you guys
Because
for
we
that.
hit 100K, Ben. We haven't spoke about that yet.
Well, and suddenly it just brings in all the wrestlers. They just hear that and they're just all Cody Rhodes meme.
They must be legit.
There we are. We've crossed the line now. We're acceptable for them to interact with us. But no, thank you guys so much for following us over on Instagram and getting us to 100K. That is absolutely huge. We appreciate you guys so much. Charlie Esparza says Triple H kinda always booked like Tony Khan. He also does the long burn world title reigns and slow burn main events and usually quick dream matches and quick mid-card setups. I don't know. I don't agree. I think he does actually usually take his time, Triple H, but he just hasn't this Mania.
I kind of see what he's saying because it is the case in some ways, but he definitely does drag a lot of long-term.
That's the thing. He does. He loves a good 9-month story quite regularly. I mean, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, one which you guys, of course, had a lot of involvement with on Tuesday night. Jeff says Drew deserves to be World Heavyweight Champion because I know that Jey Uso will fail to lead the Raw brand.
There's a lot of negative energy out there in the comments today, isn't there? No one can drop in a positive without,
the worst of it all,
taking someone else down.
He spelled it Jay Uso.
No, yeah.
No, he's serious.
Yeah, that's when you know it's not joking
he says
around.
Yet, not yeet.
But I don't know. People say that we're negative in the comment section, but today it's the other way around for once. But up next, let's talk about the Women's Tag Team Championships. Liv and Raquel of the Judgment Day against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I mean, this match is just so thrown together, isn't it? Shad, I want to get your thoughts on it.
Caw. Lyra Valkyria gets a WrestleMania match. That makes me happy. This match is one of the most head-scratching builds to the entire Mania because you have a woman in Lyra Valkyria who is such a great worker. Work rate is top tier when you talk about belt for belt in-ring wrestlers. And she's got a mid-card workers title. And she had a banger with Bayley that I honestly think should have been a match on WrestleMania. But we are here. I'm not going to complain too much. This match could be a sleeper match. All 4 women are very good professional wrestlers. And I will even go on the record to say this. I absolutely love Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez as a tag team. I think they have the Shawn Michaels and Diesel dynamic down to a T. I think they play the heel character so well, and I think they are genuinely a good team when the bell rings. Raquel is a very underrated, tall, like giant wrestler. Like she does the big man moves very well. And Liv is such a great worker. I know people don't want to admit it, but she is such a good in-ring worker. You got Bayley, we got Lyra. Those women are as textbook as they can be. As who I pick the winner is going to be. Man, part of me wants Bayley and Lyra to win so they can go there on Tuesday and lose to the greatest tag team of all time, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, because that's the greatest tag team of all time. In reality, I got Liv and Raquel retaining their titles. I think they are the team that has a lot more meat on the bone to go with as champions. Also, I got something happening. Bayley is going to turn on Lyra at Mania. Whether it's during the match or whether it's after the match, Bayley needs to go heel because this babyface character is putrid, absolutely stale as some crackers that have been sitting in your cupboard for 2 years. She is doing nothing as a babyface, and it sucks because she's so good. And I love Bailey, and I hope my wife doesn't hear that because she's a big Bailey fan too. But we need to switch some stuff up and get her back to being a heel and doing something different. So, but I got Liv and Raquel winning.
I don't like to completely agree often, Shard, but I do agree with every single thing you just said. That is my prediction too. And you are also right. Face this version of Bailey, this face version, I mean, there's nothing to it. It's blander than, I don't know, plain pasta, and I like plain pasta, and I don't like this. Jordy, what about
Sean
you?
Ellis? There's not a lot of 7-foot women in the world, also, by the way.
There's not a lot. There's been a 7-foot guy on the main roster apart from Omos, who's like in don't know what he's doing.
They need to go find all this stuff. You want to go to WN? There's not even 7-foot women in the WNBA.
Like, go to that planet off Futurama.
That's so funny. Sorry, that comment just absolutely cracked me up because I was like, they need to find a 7-foot women's wrestler, as that is something so easy to obtain, bro.
Might not even be
Why
one
haven't they done that? This stupid Triple H. How dare he? Jordy, what about you? Who do you predict?
This is some silly ass booking, right? This is I'm not one to complain too much. And I know Paul, Mr. Triple H himself, has told us that we're not allowed to be online critics as fans.
You're not.
Well, listen, I'm gonna if you're gonna pull stuff like this, bro. Like, what is this? Like, come on. I've said my piece about it. It's not the way to build a tag division to have two people run through it. I get it. It's two iconic people, whatever. But you've got tag teams that could be on this card. Bailey and Lyra should be on this card as a singles match. Anyway, I feel like it is, like you said, Shad, it's going to lead to probably a match at Backlash. WrestleMania matches should not be used as build-up matches in my humble opinion. But there you go. My pick is Liv and Raquel.
There we are. We all agree again.
You know what I would have done though? I would have had the winner of the tag team match at Stand and Deliver get an opportunity to wrestle night 2 at Mania and have them be in the match.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that would have made more sense, to be fair. We got a few more comments here. D6 Warlord says, even though you want it to be Bailey and Lyra, it's going to be the Judgment Day. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody says, ooh, in the comments. Ooh. Absolutely. And
Triple H, bro.
By the way, DC Warlord, amazing Avi, bro. I see Tatum Paxley in the picture on Twitch. He knows great wrestlers.
No doubt about it. Tatum Tuesdays on a Friday. Sean Ellis says Lyra wins at WrestleMania because she deserves to win. She does deserve to win. Numero 1 says Liv and Raquel retain, but after the match, Bailey turns heel on Lyra. Yeah, absolutely. And then we see a kendo stick on a pole match. Just kidding, a submission match. I mean, hey, why not 3 stages of hell? That's what I want to see. Up next, let's talk about another match, which is just thrown together, isn't it? This Intercontinental Championship 4-way. It's going to be a bang. It's going to be an absolute bunch of fun. So from an in-ring perspective, I am excited for it. But from a storyline perspective, I mean, there's nothing there. Braun Breaker defending against Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. Listen, I've been going back and forth on this all week. But I do think Braun Breaker is going to be in a really big position in the world title picture after WrestleMania. So for that reason, I do think he's dropping the title. And yeah, I'm going to go with that prediction, which tons of people are theorizing. Dominic Mysterio is going to pin Finn Balor accidentally, and he's going to be champion. Jordy, I can see you celebrating there. What's your call on this?
It's time. It's listen, don't
again, StreamYard, where it's just doing.
You're trying to cancel me. You're trying to cancel me and my takes. Shad does it all the time. But listen, it's Dominic Mysterio, and he's gonna win, and he deserves it. It's about time that he got a belt on the singles on the main roster, because obviously he had the NXT North American one for a little bit, and he was kind of parading it around on the main roster. But in all seriousness, it isn't just because people say I look like him. The boy's been doing the work over the past few years, and I just think it's a good way to get a belt on him. is he this generation's kind of Eddie Guerrero in the sense of character, not the sense of technical ability? I'm not saying he's got what Eddie has in terms of in ring, but if Eddie Guerrero was in this match in that same kind of position, I would bet that he would somehow lie, cheat, and steal his way to getting over the line. And I think Dom's gonna do it. Liv might even play a part. I don't know, because we've seen that she can get him wins, and I really, if I had money, I'm not a betting man, but it's 100% going on Dominic Mysterio for this one.
Wow. Yeah, completely agree with you on that one too. And so does number one Superfly. He says Dominic Mysterio will defeat Finn Balor. Yeah, and I agree with this too, with a surprise roll up.
The roll up.
It's I think they're going to execute it very, very well, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Fernando says Penta will win the Intercontinental Championship. That would be fascinating. That would be a real shock. That's the one possibility I really cannot see happening in this, but I would love for it to happen. Zero fear. Right, Shad, what about you?
Look, I'm a sicko, and let me give you a couple facts.
Okay.
Lexus King, a.k.a. Brian Pillman Jr., Heritage Cup champion. Jade Cargill, tag team champion. Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, North American champ. Sean Spears, North American champ. Ethan Page, NXT champ. Cody Rhodes, world champion. Zero. Yeah, though. I got Penta making the AEW sickos proud and becoming Intercontinental champion.
Great call. I hope that happens. That would be an ideal situation, in my personal opinion.
Nick Khan
spoiled
it this past week.
What did he say?
He said that these AEW, he's telling the AEW people, hey, y'all come over here. It's glossy over here. So.
Oh, gosh, this press tour. But anyway, Jordy, I also do agree with you. Dom deserves it too. I mean, realistically, all four of them actually deserve it, don't they?
Yeah.
D6 Warlord says, instead of Bailey turning on Lyra, what if it's the other way around?
Shad has had enough of babyface Bailey. Has he not made that clear? Putrid was the word he said.
I don't know if
I wouldn't mind Bailey telling us.
I don't know what a heel Lyra looks like. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It'd be stupid. Stupid. Do it down the line. Not yet. But talking about speculation, let's talk about Randy Orton's. I mean, he's got to be on the card. He's saying he's going to be on the card. Listen, the most obvious thing that can happen is him versus Solo Sikoa. It was teased last week, but who knows? Maybe there is a possibility it could be something else. So for this prediction, I am asking you guys who Randy Orton is going to face and who is going to win in that match. Jordy, I will chuck this one to you first. What is your call? What is your prediction? Oh, what is it doing? The StreamYard is just...
It's got a mind of its own. Right. Who am I picking?
Now.
See, this is the thing. It's so tricky because, like, there's been a lot of teases over the weeks, right? A lot of people thinking Malachi or Aleister Black, and I want to see him back. However, I think Randy's going to win this match, and that makes me think and hope, with my fingers crossed and wishing on a star, that Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton is going to happen. I really want it to happen. Just for Nick. That's literally more than anything for him to, through an unfortunate circumstance of Kevin Owens, which it is, for Nick Aldis to get a WrestleMania match. That's what I want to happen. So again, that's what I'm predicting, in the hope that the universe grants it to me.
I completely agree. I want it to happen. I don't think it is going to happen because, Shad, you mentioned people spoiling things. Big E last night. What on earth was he thinking? I mean, according to him, it's official. It's announced, he said. It's not being... He announced it. He announced it on official WWE programming that Rusev is returning to the company. Nobody else had announced it. He took it upon himself. Tom Holland. trying to become the next Spider-Man, Big E. Listen, the fact is, Malachi Black, Aleister Black, we've been seeing these teasers on Friday nights. I think it's blatantly pointing towards him. The date is next Friday. I think we're going to see him show up next Friday. I think there's a plan in place for him. Therefore, if Rusev has signed him, we've not seen any teasers for Rusev. I'm guessing he's going to be a surprise, and therefore him being here would work. And ultimately, he could take a loss against Orton, but I'm going to predict that Rusev does get the win. What about you, Shad?
I'm not here to give WrestleMania matches to some guys who couldn't work out in All Elite Wrestling. No, I'm gonna be real. Tony Khan has done better than that. These guys who have made success, they were real free agents and then they came to WWE. These guys aren't some AEW signings. These are guys who didn't make it work in the WWE prior to that. So, all jokes aside, Malachi and Rusev to me are difficult because losing at Mania is obviously it's a Mania match and it's against Randy Orton. That pop itself is big, but like a loss is kind of like you're already starting off on a difficult aspect, and I don't see Randy losing. I'm all about stories, and there is a story to be told, and it still ties with Kevin Owens. I think there is someone who is ready to fight for Kevin Owens, someone that they had their last match against each other, but I think he's coming back, and I think he's coming back strong. Open challenge, Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton. I think Sami Zayn answers the open challenge, and him and Randy Orton tear it up. He can virtually lose to Randy, and it's no problem, but it only makes sense, man. They brought a little bit of like real life to Kevin Owens, and that's his best friend. That's his brother. And no matter what happens, he gonna ride for his brother. So I got Sami Zayn answering the challenge and losing to Randy, but yeah.
If it's going to be Sami Zayn, I don't want to see that in an open challenge. I want to see El Generico. Let's bring him back.
That'd be nice.
So we got a couple more comments here. Randy Orton versus Goldust, says Sean Ellis. Fernando says Aleister Black or Rusev. Numero 1 says Orton versus Aldis. I really hope you are right.
None of us said Aldis.
I did.
Oh, no, you did say Aldis. I'm tripping. My bad. So,
All right, bro.
I don't know why you said Malachi for a second.
No, I did. I did mention Malachi. To be honest, I mentioned everyone. I went right around the bushes, but Nick is my actual prediction.
That'd be
DCX
good,
says it's going to be Phoenix or a call-up from NXT in Trick Williams. C Squared is actually saying one which a lot of people are predicting. Obafemi. His name is now being thrown around a lot in the last 12 hours or so in that conversation. I would love it, and I would love for him to squash Randy Orton in 10 seconds.
That'd be crazy.
Establish him out of the gates. Huge deal.
I don't
Hall of
hate it.
Fame at WrestleMania, you squash in 10 seconds.
I mean, the legend killer turned into a legend. Maybe this legend gets killed.
And not only that, but you can argue with us. Orton doesn't know if it's an open challenge who it's going to be. So he's got no time to prepare. So you can run it back and, he can have an argument for why he lost so quickly. And you can start to rebuild him. But it really helps Obafemi out.
Before we get to the last topic, if it is Rusev or Aleister, do you think they're going to garner like that big of a pop?
Yeah.
I think Aleister will. I think
Rusev will get bigger than Aleister.
I think Rusev possibly because they have a sense of like familiarity, but like Malachi, Aleister, he never really got like a big. He didn't really get a chance on man.
I think he's one though that people do and did even at the time think slipped the net. And it was like, why him? You know what I mean? Like, and I do think he's almost got like a cult following. I think people who like him really, really like him and really believe in his ability. So I think he would get a pop, and I think in being in that Mania position, it's not going to be a Cody pop.
I've been on record, and people might not like it. He was my least favorite in the House of Black. I
mean, that's a stacked faction, to be fair.
Yeah, and that's not a shame on him. think that I think the character is really good and it visually looks amazing. But I do think it's one of those you either really like it or you're just okay, gets boring after a while. So
But no, I mean, listen, ultimately, though, right? Wrestling crowds, even WWE crowds, love surprises. Remember the reaction Jade Cargill got. Remember the reaction Jordan Grace got. And those guys are a lot more well known than they were when they got those pops, right? These are two
that's true.
former WWE stars. So I think the place is going to erupt for either of them when we do see it. We do have a few comments here from Ewan. Firstly, Evan Bourne, Matt Seidel.
Yeah,
That
great
one would be
shout.
interesting. Another whatever it was into a shooting star
Airborne.
press into an RKO. I'd love to see that
So
again.
sick.
But a better shout, Jesse from Jesse and Cletus. I want to hear biscuits and gravy. That is a throwback and a half. Of course, one of them with Cletus, one that was Luke Gallows in the end.
Yep.
Fernando says Buddy and Brody are better than Black. He's agreeing with you.
Brody
But-
King is the best
know-
out of all three.
You know one as well that
I agree.
I've just thought of that would
Yeah?
actually bring the house down and isn't a return. Well, it kind of is. If it goes silent and you start to hear Uncle Howdy's theme,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
another
that
good
will
one.
absolutely bring the house down and the fireflies will go up. And
I'd like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'd be up for that. JC is asking, are we
Just
done
no-
because we
no
didn't see
black-
Ricky?
No black goo though.
Oh,
but Alexa could get involved in that match.
yeah, get them all on the card. Yeah, JC is saying it's going to be Ricky. I mean, I don't think we're done for not predicting that because I don't think it's going to be that, to be honest.
Oh, Ricky. Oh, no, I remember Ricky. Yeah. it'll be
Oh, Kevin Owens is
Yeah,
the dude that
Kevin's
he's
guy.
teamed with.
Wait,
Ricky.
what?
Oh,
Remember
right.
remember that random indie wrestler, the bald,
Oh, yes,
Ricky!
Sorry, yes,
It's
I remember
Ricky!
last year.
Yeah, Ricky.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, JC
And
Murillo.
he turned
That's who you're
heel on him
talking
after
about,
like a
right?
minute. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he brought Randy out. That was the thing.
Sorry, JC. That went all the way over my head.
That is long-term
Great call.
storytelling. That is long-term
That would be
storytelling.
perfect.
Because Kevin brought Randy out, didn't he? Instead, and yeah, Ricky had to go.
Midnight Heat. He's part of a group called the Midnight Heat. That is really funny. I completely forgot
Not
about
Tommy
that.
Invincible. Tommy Invincible.
Because I thought he was
Tommy
talking about Ricky
Invincible.
Starks too. I was like, he's kind of wrestling the night before.
I mean, who knows? I mean, at this point, I mean, if Hulk Hogan comes out, I don't think Vegas are going to be too kind to him based on the reaction he got. He did something today, Hulk Hogan, and he got booed loudly again, I heard. Don't know what that something was, but something. Up next, let's talk about the main event. The reason everybody came to the dance, Cody Rhodes versus a heel John Cena. A storyline we never thought that we would see, but we have seen it play out in front of our eyes, and it has been absolutely, I say it's been exceptional. It's actually maybe not been quite as good as we hoped it would be in recent weeks, but it is still very good, and I'm very, very, very excited. But Shad, I'm going to pass this one to you first. Who do you think will be walking out with that WWE Championship held in the air?
First and foremost, let me say this. Cody Rhodes is going to be known as one of the most important wrestling figures in our time when his career is done. What he has accomplished in the last 6 years as a professional wrestler has really changed the landscape of professional wrestling, from what he's done in AEW and helping build up that promotion, to coming back to the WWE, to being part of some of the biggest storylines in the WWE history, and really being the leader as a babyface, next to someone like a Roman Reigns that has kind of marched down this Renaissance era of what's happening in the WWE. So I got to give him his props, because I don't think that goes noticed as much as it needs to. I know we have a lot of criticism towards him. A lot of people may think he's cheesy, corny, but you would know that the fans adore him. They sing his song loud and clear. And I think Cody does everything great. When he wrestles, he's great. When he cuts promos, he's great. When he does media stuff, he's great. He's literally just really great at everything. So he's got a tough task. That record is glossing above his head. That 17-time champ record is glossing over his head. And say what you want to say. As much as I said towards Cody Rhodes, the man he is going to face at Mania Night 2 is him plus more. Cena has kind of been the focal point of WWE for 2 decades, right? And this is coming from a guy who's not even a big Cena fan. I grew up not liking Cena that much, but I would be a fool to ignore it. It's the same impact that we got from a Rock previously, from a Hogan previously to that. He is the face of WWE, and you can argue he is the GOAT of WWE. You know, like everything that he's accomplished, it is in GOAT tier. It's in S tier. And I just think that record means so much to John Cena, but it means so much to this company because it's time to reward the guy that you want to put down in the history books as the guy who is the face of the company. By the time when you think of WWE, John Cena, they want him to be the person you remember. We're phasing out from Hulk Hogan. We're phasing out from The Rock in a way. Austin, a lot of these people, he's carried the baton and he's ran by it. It would mean so much if Cody Rhodes could end that and stop that record at Mania. But it's so hard for me to pick against John Cena, bro. I just think that he carries that record, and I just think it's time. I don't think Cody needs to be like Roman Reigns having a 2-3 year title reign. I think he's such a good babyface. He's so damn good coming back up from the chase that will mean more when he wins it back and has to go through adversity. But I just think he'll bite the bullet for it. I got John Cena breaking Ric Flair's record on Sunday. I think John Cena is going to win. I think this is going to be one of those. This is where the retirement tour really kicks off now. I think we'll see a lot more of what this heel Cena vision is within this title reign. So I got John Cena beating Cody on night 2.
I completely agree with you, Shard. I mean, it is hard to predict against him, like you're saying, and that is my call as well. Numero 1 is saying that Cody Rhodes will retain. Big shout there, but after the match is when things get interesting as The Rock will appear and congratulate Cody, but reveals he's got one more match and he is facing CM Punk, and he reveals to Cody that it was CM Punk was The Rock's true champion the entire time. I could see them doing some overbooked nonsense like that, to be honest with you. I could see that is within the realm of possibility, but I don't know. Really interesting comment here. D6 Warlord says Ricky does listen to Wrestling Republic's podcasts. Hello, Ricky, if you're listening.
Ricky,
always welcome.
Sunday Spotlight, we calling your name, buddy. I will be reaching out after this podcast.
There we are. Let's get him on. Fernando predicts Jeff Cobb, who of course left New Japan this week, done and official, will appear and help Cena win. That would be wild. Sean Ellis says Cody Rhodes is going to bury John Cena and then retire him from the WWE finally. Rest in peace, John Cena. Sean Ellis is getting the hate spade out today, and he's just digging holes.
Jeff Cobb would never be on a WrestleMania, bro. I'm sorry. Even if he signs to WWE, he
could be on a Mania. He could be on the card, just not high up on the card.
Yeah, maybe down the road, but like, is a debut? It's
not a
crazy.
debut. No.
Plus, he got to wrestle. Doesn't he have to wrestle in New Japan like next week?
Maybe he does. A lot of his matches, they've changed it now to his tag team partner. So his tag team partner's getting all the title shots. Literally, New Japan have just had an exodus of wrestlers leave them this week. And like, all of them were like announced for stuff for the next 3 months. It is wild. But Bronson Reed is Sean Ellis's call. Ewan says, as one of my childhood heroes, I need Cena to beat the record at WrestleMania. I would love to see it, but somebody else who would love to see it even more is the biggest John Cena fan. Listen, I'm not a betting man either, Jordy, but if I was, I mean, I think the betting markets wouldn't even offer any odds for this because it's so predictable. Who are you predicting to win this?
It has to be. It has to be. Like, it's setting in on not just me, who is a huge John Cena fan. It's setting in on wrestling fans all around the world right now. We are over 48 hours, just over 48 hours from John Cena's last WrestleMania. And big shout out Kobe as well from the WR team. He brought up a good point in the chat yesterday. And I think this is why Cena exceeds the likes of certainly The Rock, certainly Stone Cold. Hogan, if he wasn't such an awful person, maybe could get in there, because Cena spans generations. I think Cena was the face of WWE probably while he was part time. Even he was still that figurehead. People still thought WWE John Cena, and I just think that, like you said, Shad, I think it's important to the company. I think they want somebody who is a company man to hold that record. John Cena is an embodiment of that. I love that we've got to see the heel turn and all that. And listen, that's great. But to break that for a second, like, that John Cena is still there. The hustle, loyalty, respect, the work as hard as you can. That guy is still there because that is John Cena. And he deserves it. He deserves 17 as far as I'm concerned. And I know I'm biased and I don't even care. And I think if he doesn't win it in this situation at WrestleMania, I think he will. But I think he will down the line. But I think it's a missed opportunity. WWE is built on moments. It's not built on the best 5-star in-ring matches. It is built on storytelling and moments. To give Cena 17 at WrestleMania, beating Cody Rhodes, that's a moment that they can replay for the next 100 years and forever. And like John said in the interview that he did, he wants 17 to shake the hands one day of the person that wins 18. And I genuinely believe that records are there to be broken, and one day it will be. But for now, I think that there's no better person to hold that record than John Cena.
Do you know what? I, again, completely agree. I do think it is the sensible option. Maybe it's not sensible for John Cena because, he's usually really good with press stuff to go around talking about his love for Vince McMahon. Maybe that's not the best stuff on part of WWE's PR day from hell today.
Oh, yeah.
This week, to be honest with you,
It's just been a nightmare. Who let him talk? Jeez.
The funny thing is they feel more TKO UFC with these like answers in their nonchalant ways. Like, I'm so used to like Dana White saying a lot of rhetoric and stuff like that out in the public on pressers that it like caught me off guard, just because I feel like WWE, at least in the last some odd years, has been very particulate how they do, like, how they handle like media and how their PR is. But like this week, they've just been like kicking their legs back and saying whatever they want to say. Like the most telling one, honestly, funny enough to me, is the Nick Khan with Bill Simmons podcast. Like, it's the week of WrestleMania, and like so many of your answers and stuff and little digs were towards the company that doesn't matter, apparently.
That's what they say.
Not competition, huh?
Us as well. We don't matter our opinions.
Yeah, we're no longer allowed to give opinions, according to Triple H. Not a fan of the fan's voice, apparently. But I don't.
Oh, we're not allowed to use the word pivot as well. That's another one.
Oh yeah,
a word that he kept using last year on the documentary.
Yeah, you literally made a documentary how you guys did the biggest pivot, right?
And why did they pivot, guys?
Because of the fans online.
Because of me. No, I'm joking. Because of all of us.
Because
being called a
crybaby.
Yeah.
Triple H, he's become the biggest. He just completely contradicted everything he said and did 12 months ago. It is absolutely crazy. Fernando says, fire prediction stream. Enjoyed it very, very much. Thank you so much. And guys, we will be back in a few hours' time for a SmackDown watch along as well. Tons of content over the next couple of days. Also off the air tomorrow. Early start time for the daily broadcast tomorrow. That's 5 p.m. UK time. 9 a.m. Pacific, and then 12 p.m. Eastern, I believe, is the correct one. But we hope to see you guys there. Thank you to Jordy and thank you to Shad for joining me here today. It's been a fantastic show. And again, guys, thank you for 100,000 followers over on Instagram. We will see you guys same time, same place. I've already explained it once. Mania weekend's already tiring me out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you later on.
I'll see you soon.